So good morning everyone. Welcome to random variable class. We have done probability. I think many of you might have enjoyed and might have got new insight. Okay, so now we are going to you know going to start one of the very important topic in entire probability and statistics, that is random variable. And related to random variable, we will be learning various things. Okay, so many people have kind of conception that misconception mis kind of misconception that random variable is really random. Okay, when we are studying random variable means it is going to be a totally random in nature. Okay, just like a random experiment or kind of thing. Okay, so sometimes what happens now, if any variable is given a name. Okay, suppose we are giving any name to a variable, right? So here they have given random, right? But this name is not correct. Okay, we can say, right, this is not a correct name. I mean, जैसा उसका नाम है वैसा उसका काम नहीं है, राइट? उसका काम बहुत ही अच्छा है. Random variable is going to simplify your life, that I can say. As long as I have been teaching this topic from the past many years, right? So I started, in fact, my teaching with this topic. Okay, so I will be sharing my entire expertise on random variables. So I hope you guys might have got complete insight of basic probability theory and all those important tools, right? So now we are going to study again the same thing, but here we will be using the variable here, right? Random variable concept. Okay, and let's see what is this random variable. Okay, so let us switch to our favorite screen, as we know that this is our favorite screen. And we are going to start the lecture number 8, and this is going to be your random you can say random variable. Okay, random variable. So what are the things that we are going to study under this topic, that we have to first see, right? So first of all, we will talk about random variable. Okay, the idea and the definition. So first of all, I'll talk about the definition and idea behind this random variable. And the second one, we are going to talk about different sort of random variable. So first of all, I'll talk about discrete random variable. Okay, so there will be a type of random variable, but we are going to only talk about in this session is discrete random variable. Okay, and then we will also talk about continuous random variable, right? Like we have seen that. Okay, we have seen the different type of sample space as well, right? There was discrete sample space, there was continuous sample space, right? So a random variable is also going to be a discrete random variable and continuous random variable. Sometimes you might encounter the mix of the two, like discrete as well as continuous. So we call it mixed random variable. Okay, mixed random variable. Okay, so here three type of random variable we are going to encounter in our entire probability and statistics theory, right? So definition and idea we will discuss. Then random variable depending upon the sample space. Okay, like discrete random variable. Okay, we'll talk about continuous random variable, and depending upon the sample space only. Let me tell you, whatever sample space you get after performing the experiment. Okay, so you will be having the type of random variable. So three types, major three types: discrete random variable, continuous random variable, and mixed random variable. Okay, and then we will talk about very important concept that is called as probability mass function. So I'll tell you that why it is needed, right? What is the main idea behind probability? Okay, mass function. Okay, probability mass function. Okay, for discrete random variable. Understand? And the fourth one is going to be your different examples we are going to take, or you can say different types of random variable, like Bernoulli random variable, uniform random variable, binomial random variable, geometric random variable. Okay, so let me list down all those points also, so that you guys can have the initial picture. So fourth one is we'll talk about examples of random variables. Okay, I'm putting RB. Okay, RB is nothing but the random variable only. So we'll talk about here the Bernoulli random variable. Bernoulli random variable. Okay, spelling you can check Bernoulli. Uniform in case of discrete as well as continuous, but in this session I'm just going to focus on discrete only, guys. Okay, the discrete random variable. See, if a person is from electronics and communication background, right, if somebody is from electrical engineering, right, so they can explain this topic random variable very nicely, right? Okay, so computer science people are here blazed, okay, you can say, or data science people are blazed in my lectures, okay, because they are studying, random variable from electronic background guy, right? Like Dheeraj sir, okay, and Dheeraj sir has, you can say, I'm focusing on all the branches, not only electronics. My background is electronics, but as you know that I teach for computer science, data science, electronics, electrical, instrumentation, aerospace, so many. Understand? As long as I teach mathematics, so I teach everybody, right? So Bernoulli uniform random variable, then we will talk about binomial, right? So we'll see why we need all these, right? Binomial, okay, binomial random variable. So at least you should know these names, okay, so that as we come across the actual topic, okay, like binomial random variable, okay, so you can discuss related to binomial, okay. So what will be the situation where we have to use binomial? What is going to be the situation where we have to use Bernoulli? So basically we are going to model some situation using these random variable, okay, and geometric random variable, okay, and there are different types, okay. So these are the discrete that we are going to cover, and then we will talk about some of the center tendencies, like statistics we talk about mean, median, mode. Here also we are going to talk about expectation and its property, right? So we'll talk about expectation. Expectation is nothing but the mean only and its property, okay. And the we will talk about the expected value rule in under this, the expected value rule, okay. So in your exam you can expect question from expected value rule, okay, and you can also expect question like based on linearity. I think everybody knows the meaning of linearity, right? So these are the topic that I'm gonna cover, right? So you will get to know what is the definition, what is the idea behind random variable, and so on and so forth, right? So remember, random variable is a variable, okay, that probabilistically takes on a value, and they are one of the most important construct in the probability theory. Most important construct, you can say. Okay. So you can think of an random variable as being like a variable in a programming language, right? Okay, in the programming language, whenever you choose some variable, so you can consider this random variable as a variable being a kind of variable which what you use in the programming language, right? So, but here everything is gonna be easy because Dheeraj sir is teaching you, okay? So let me first give you the idea behind this random variable, okay? Then definition, right? So, what is the idea? Idea of random variable, a very basic idea that I'm gonna teach you, okay. Suppose you have got some sort of you can say that sample space, okay, or you can say kind of classroom here, right? Okay, this is a sample space or kind of classroom, you can say, and there are four students, right? You can say there are four students, 1 2 3, you can say A, B, C, D. These are the four students you have got, right? These are the four students. So each student has got some kind of weight, okay. Each student has got some kind of, you can say, height, okay. So you cannot say that all students have same weight or height, right? Understand? I think this is clear. So what you can do here is, suppose we want to talk about the high, weight of one student A, right? So what is the weight of this student A, what is the weight of this student B, what is the weight of this student C, what is the weight of this student D. So we have to assign some real value to these students, right? So what we can do here is we can pass these these student from the weighing machine, right? Okay, so there will be a weighing machine, you can say. Let me show you this. Suppose this is a kind of weighing machine, right? Okay, it is going to be a weighing machine. Okay, and if you pass any student A, okay, to this weighing machine, so it is going to give you what? It is going to be giving you a weight of the what? So you can say that a weighing machine is nothing but a capital X, right? Capital X. And if you pass through this capital X or weighing machine, it is going to give you a weight of the student. You can say the weight of the student is nothing but 62 kg, right? Okay, सपोज यूर पासिंग बी, ठीक है, अगर आप बी को पास करते हैं तो व्हाट यू विल गेट हियर इज यू विल गेट, यू कैन से 72 kg समथिंग, ओके, यू कैन से 75 kg और 72 kg वॉट एवर, ठीक है, 75. So I think you can recall in the single variable calculus I taught you something, right, like this. Yeah, when you have a machine kind of, okay, when you have a machine, okay, so when you are giving some input to the machine, right, okay, so that machine is going to give you the output. So here random variable is also going to be have like a machine only, guys. It is going to be have like a mathematical function. Yeah, that machine we considered as a function. Yes, if you recall single variable calculus. Yeah, so if you give input to this weighing machine or input to this random variable, so this x is going to map, okay, x is going to map all these input to the value, kind of numerical value, you can say, right? And these numerical values are going to be a real value, right? So are you able to recall, okay, that function definition I told you, okay, when we have got the machine and we are giving some input to the machine and that machine was giving us the output, okay, like by equal to fx, that function, understand? So here when you are giving some input, okay, you can say these inputs, from where you are getting these inputs, guys, you are getting these inputs, okay, from certain experiment, okay, understood? So these are the, you are choosing some student, okay, you are taking some student from the, you can say, classroom, and you are putting them in front of the weighing machine, and then weighing machine is giving the weight of those student, right? So I think this is clear, right? So what you can do here is you can take this is nothing but a small w, okay, which is nothing but kg. Okay, why we are choosing this small w for the weight? Remember, I will tell you. Okay, and if you, and capital W you are going to take, okay, for the, you can say, kind of weighing machine, capital W, right? Okay, but for w, small w, this is small, guys, small later, and this is capital. ये आपको याद रखना है, ठीक है? It is very important, okay? Capital and small matters a lot, right? So what you can do here is you can take a, right, and you can take a, ठीक है? Let me take a here, and you can say that this is going to, this a is mapped to what was the weight over there? That was 62, and you can map this b, okay, the weight of the b, or you can say weight of the c, right? So you can take c, okay, this c has a weight around 75, okay, understood? So you can also take this as c, okay, ये c है, okay. So I think this is clear. So this x we are considering over there is w, okay, because we are going to measure the weight and all, right? And this help you to get a weight, okay, and these are the student, okay, a and c, right? And this weight is being measured in kg, unit kg, okay. I think this is clear for all. Now we can also define another random variable, guys. Dekho, here w is going, capital W is gonna be called as the random variable. Why we are calling it random variable, okay, you will come to know very shortly, right? See, in the same sample space, okay, this is a sample space, okay, or a classroom, you can say. In the same sample space we can define many random variable, guys, more than one random variable. जैसे we have defined here the weight is a random variable, okay, weight of the student is a random variable. Because why? Because the, you know, each student has got same different weights, right? Okay, so randomly we are assigning here, right? We are assigning the A student has got the weight 62, B C has got 75, right? Now we can also define one more variable, that is nothing but a height, because each student has got different heights in the classroom, right? So in the sample space you can define one more variable here, that is nothing but your height, and I'm just going to show this height as h. Okay, and h is gonna be in meter. Okay, so you can say that we have got the height around, you can say 1.7 meter and 1.8 meter, right? So what you can do here is you can assign, right? So you can take a, let me take a here. A is mapped to 1.7 and C is mapped to 1.8, right? So I'm taking two students here, okay? I'm taking two students, okay? A and C, and we have got the weight. Now the new random variable is capital H, guys. So you can say that there is a weighing machine, height measuring machine, you can say height is going to be measured. So here capital H is there, right? So if you give A, if you give C, so this is going to give you what? H of A is going to be what? H of A is going to be 1.7, and H of C is going to be what, guys? H of C is going to be 1.8. Yes, I think this is clear, right? So what conclusion that we can make here is, in the same sample space, okay, in the same sample space we can define more than one random variable, one or two random variable, more than two also, many random variables, right? I think this is clear, right? So one random variable is weight here, capital W, okay, and the W which takes, you see capital W is a random variable, okay, capital later whatever I have written here is capital W, capital H, these are the random variable, and the random variable which takes the value, kind of numerical value you can say, that will be small letter. You see here small letter is nothing but a numerical value that the random variable take on, okay? मतलब जो आप न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू रैंडम वेरिएबल को दोगे, असाइन करोगे, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी रिटन इन स्मॉल लेटर, ओके? So I'm just giving some real value or some random, kind of small letter, okay? So I will talk about the notation and the property of random variable. लेकिन पहले आप समझो कि मान लो तुम्हारे पास एक सैंपल स्पेस था, A, B, C, D are the outcome of the sample space. You take A, assign some weight to student A, and you can also take another random variable capital H, assign, now you can further define one more random variable, okay? How can you define one more random variable, sir? That is a question. So you can talk about body mass index, sir. Body mass index, okay? So if you know, okay, if you know, right, if you know the height as well as if you know the height as well as the weight of the student, right? So you can talk about body mass index, right? So this can give you the body mass index. So another random variable is gonna be, you can say kind of B. B is nothing but what? You take W, the weight upon H square, right? So if you give here A, if you give here, B, right? I'm talking about W and H you have to give, right? W and H, okay, the value of the W and H, right? Small w and h, for these for these student. So they will give you kind of again understand, so kind of the value they are going to give you, that is nothing but body mass index, right? So yeah, so you can say they will give you some sort of small v value, right? Okay, capital B is a random variable here, another random variable, okay? So what conclusion we are making here is, on the same sample space, ये याद रखना, लिख भी लेना, on same sample space we can define many, you can say multiple random variable, okay? Understand? So see, we have got two random variable, weight and the height. Now we are using some sort of formula to create another random variable, like we can add random variable, subtract random variable, right? We can square here the random variable and take the random variable, divide it and get the new random variable. So we can perform all sort of operation, okay, and then we can get new random variable as well. ठीक है, ये आइडिया आपको कोई नहीं बताता है, डायरेक्टली आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं और आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं तो आपको लगता है बस ये क्वेश्चन है, राइट, बट आपको ये नहीं समझ आता कि ये पूछ क्यों रहा है, व्हाई दे आर आस्किंग दिस न्यू रैंडम वेरिएबल z इक्वल टू x प्लस y. You are adding two random variable and getting new random variable. What is the meaning of that? You have got the same sample space and you are able to define many random variables. ठीक है. So here you will get if you take the values and all and put so I'm not going to solve that, that is not important at this moment. I mean that is not important to compute the numerical value and all, just assign, so you can say that you will get 21.5 if you solve that and 2 point something 2.3. Okay, so what we can do here is we can define one more you can say here this is going to be your b, okay, body marks, and this is nothing but 21.5, right, and this is you can say 2.3, right. So you take this, right, you take this and you take this, you see. So how many random variables are there? This is kind of b, which is w by h square. So you will be given two random variable, okay, and you have to get third random variable, right? Okay, so there is a formula b equal to w by h square. So I think what conclusion you can make here is, right, what we are doing here is what we are doing, we are assigning some real value to a outcome of the sample space. These are the outcome, students are nothing but the outcome of the sample space, right, and we are assigning with the help of random variable, we are assigning some real value, some numerical value to those outcomes. Okay, some numerical value to those outcomes, okay. And the second point that we can talk about is a sample space or any random experiment we have, we can define various random variable, okay, many random variable. ये आप point note में लिख लेना, okay, I'm not gonna repeat again and again, ठीक है. Okay, so why we are saying that you see guys, why we are saying that random variable is a kind of machine or a function, because you see this, okay, here w of a is this and w of c is this. So can you recall the function definition, simple function definition? Suppose you are giving input as small x, so this is kind of a function or a machine, it will give you y equal to f of x. So you can talk about what? You can talk about random variable as mathematical function, sir. Random variable is nothing but a mathematical function. These are the definition, right? Random variable is a kind of mathematical function that takes some real value, okay, or you can say that random variable is a kind of function, okay, it is going to map your outcome of the sample space to the real value or on the real line, you can say, or number line. ठीक है, कुछ definitions हैं समझो, ठीक है, and gradually you will understand, ठीक है. So what you can say here is that if I talk about some of the whatever I have spoken, let me write here. It's important observation. Important observation that you have to remember, right? The very first is nothing but a random variable associates a value, or you can say a number, to every possible outcomes. Okay, a random variable, okay, or else let me take directly the snapshot so that I need not to write it, okay. Yeah, so yeah, so these are the points that I have spoken. So these points are, you see, so this is nothing but the conclusion here. Whatever I have told you now, this is going to be a conclusion, right? So a random variable associates a value, or you can say that value is nothing but a number, to every possible outcome, sir. of the sample space. Mathematically, you can say that a function, random variable is a function, or you can say mathematical function from the sample space omega to a real number, sir. From the sample space to a real number, okay? Sample space you have got, you are performing the random experiment, you got the sample space, and now that capital X or capital letter random variable is going to map all outcomes on the real line. Can you understand that? Yes. And second point that you can talk about is this random variable can take discrete value as well as the continuous value. I think you know what is the meaning of discrete. I have told you in the class, right? So random variable can take discrete value, or random variable can take discrete or continuous value. Random variable can take discrete or continuous value. Okay, continuous value. What is the meaning of discrete? Let me explain here. Discrete means, suppose you have got a value, you can say kind of m, integer, right? This is an integer value, okay, m, and if someone is going to ask you what is the next integer, so you can say m plus 1. What is the next previous integer? You can say m minus 1. So integer value has got the kind of, discrete property, right? Understand? If someone is going to ask you, suppose you have got some real number and someone is going to ask you what is the next real number, you can't tell. बहुत सारे रियल नंबर्स हो सकते हैं, कुछ भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? So integer values has got this kind of discrete, okay, and certainly if the sample space is there, depending upon the sample space, outcomes are there, you can talk about whether they are discrete or continuous, right? So I think this is clear for all, okay? So any random variable can take discrete or continuous value. And one more thing that I just want to talk about, it is a property of random variable, or you can say kind of notation. आपको पूरे sessions में, whatever number of sessions I am going to conduct, you have to restrict yourself with these notations only, sir. Random variable will be represented with the capital letter. ये मैंने आपको बता भी दिया है. Random variable is gonna be represented with the capital letter. So if I say random variable, so that will be represented by capital letter. Okay, that capital. Okay, I have taken capital X here. You can take W, H, whatever, right? Depending upon the context. Okay, so capital X. And the value which it takes, it can be discrete or continuous. The numerical value will be represented by a small letter. Numerical value is gonna be small. So remember, in entire probability theory, right? In entire probability theory, okay, the capital X जहां भी लिखा रहेगा means that is a random variable, and the value it takes, that is going to be a small letter. So this small x is nothing but the numerical value that the random variable take on, right? And that numerical value can be the discrete or the continuous. So I think this is clear for all, right? So I will take many examples. And what another observation that you can make here is, you can say that we can have several random variables defined on the same sample space. ठीक है? So we can have several random variable, okay? So ये भी point आप note कर लेना. We can have another point that I just want to highlight here is, we can have another point, right? This is the another point, okay? So I'm just going to make it small so that you can see it. Yeah. So we can have several random variable, okay, defined on the same sample space. जैसे when I was explaining you the idea behind random variable, so I took bait I took height, I talk about body mass index. ठीक है, जैसे आजकल होता है ना कि people look at my height, okay, like my height is nearly 6, okay, 6 feet, right? So people talk about, okay, so you might be having like, and people talk about my weight, right? So if I say my weight is pretty low, so they question on me, right? So you can talk about body mass index, right? Okay. So we can have several random variable defined on the same sample space. ये clear हो जाना चाहिए, है ना? In the question, these observation will be reflected, guys. Okay. A function of one or several random variables is also a random variable. देखो, a function of one or more than one, or you can say several random variable, is also a random variable. Like, b equal to w by h square, b is also a random variable, right? If you take two random variables and perform any sort of operations, right? You can add two random variable, you can subtract two random variable, right? So so you can say that x plus y is also a random variable here. Okay, so what kind of value this random variable will take? So this is also a random variable, guys. Okay, if you add x plus y, capital X plus y, so you will get another random variable, you can say capital Z. So what kind of value this capital Z is going to take? So the random variable capital Z takes small g, okay, a numerical value, and this small g is going to be equal to small x plus small y. Okay, so because small x and small y, क्यों? क्योंकि capital X takes small x, where capital X takes small x and capital Y takes small y. Okay, takes value, you have to write takes value small y. ठीक है, very important point, very important point. Okay, when we will solve question, you will find these things. I will highlight there also, nobody highlights this. ठीक है, so in single, in the same sample space, you can define many random variables. Okay, you can perform any sort of operations on the random variable, you will get another random variable, right? Because random variable is at the same time is a function, mathematical function, right? So you can perform anything, and the random variable is nothing but a kind of, you can say, mapping technique. Okay, you are going to map all the outcomes of the sample space to the real line. Okay, so I think this is clear for all. Yeah, till this point everything is clear or not? Okay. Okay, so let me give you a new paradigm again, right? So you guys can read it. Okay, so whatever we have discussed till now, you can get some further insight, okay, with this statement. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर क्या लिखा है? A random variable is a variable, okay, that probabilistically takes on the value, okay, and they are one of the most important construct in the probability theory, most important construct. Okay, if you know the random variable concept, then your probability theory is gonna be quite easy, right? You will be able to model the situation probabilistically using these random variable. जैसे आप प्रोग्रामिंग में क्या है, अगर आपको वेरिएबल्स के बारे में पता है तो आप कोडिंग करना टफ नहीं होता है, राइट? ठीक है, काइंड ऑफ एब्स्ट्रैक्शन यू कैन से. ठीक है, so you can think of an random variable as being in a like a variable in a programming language. ठीक है, तो ये भी एक पॉइंट आप समझ सकते हो कि आप रैंडम वेरिएबल को कैसे ले सकते हैं as a variable in the programming language. In fact, random variable are just an important to probability theory as variable are important to programming. So if you do not know about the random variable, you cannot talk about probability theory properly, right? You haven't understood probability theory, you can say. Okay, many students, those who does not have knowledge about random variables, right? Yeah, see, solving question, a basic question on probability, and then you cannot model the situation, right? Okay, complicated situations, understand? So it's like if you don't know the variables, okay, different types of variables, different type of data types, okay, in case of programming, any programming language, let's say Python or C, C++, whatever, right? You will not be good at programming, understand? So that is what the idea here is. So random variable takes on a value and have types, have domains over which they are applicable, okay? Have domains, because random variable is going to be a function, okay? So it will be having a domain as well as a range. So random variable work with all the probability theory, foundational theory we have built, okay, to this point, whatever probability theory we have discussed, okay? So the same thing we are going to again discuss, but with the new paradigm, that is random variable paradigm, okay? I think this is clear. So we can define events that occur if random variable takes on a value that satisfies a numerical test, okay? So we will be having an event, okay, and whatever outcomes of the events are there, we are going to assign all those outcomes of the events to the a value that the random variable takes, okay? Example, does a variable equal to 5 is a variable less than 5, okay? So any variable you can take, like x equal to 5, or you can say x is less than 8, okay? This kind of events we are going to define, right? Okay, mathematically, like probability of x equal to 5. So if somebody is asking probability of capital X equal to 5 means what? This is the event, sir. Now this is the event, okay, because here capital X is taking small x, and small x is nothing but 5, okay? So this is the event, okay? Remember, this is gonna be the event now, understand? Yeah, inside the argument of the probability, this is gonna be the event. Earlier, probability of getting head, probability of getting tail, right? That kind of event was there, but now we are going to talk about numerical values, right? One random variable will be there. It is going to make your entire life mathematical. And I was waiting for that. I think you might also be waiting for that. कि आपकी पूरी life mathematical हो जाए. Logical thinking से mathematics thinking, mathematical thinking, yeah? ठीक है? So please do remember these points, sir. बहुत important है. So let's look at one of the examples of a random variable. Say, we flip a fair coin. Okay, three fair coins. You can say we can define random variable by to the total number of heads on the 3 coins. Okay. So we can ask about the probability of by taking different values using the following notations. देखो, मान लो हम 3 बार क्या करते हैं, किसी क्वाइन को फ्लिप करते हैं, तो आप क्वाइन को फ्लिप करिए, यू विल गेट हेड टेल, सेकंड क्वाइन हेड टेल, थर्ड क्वाइन हेड टेल, हेड टेल, हेड टेल एंड हेड टेल, ठीक है? नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द सैंपल स्पेस, आई मीन द आउटकम्स एच एच एच, एच एस टी, राइट, एस टी एच, STT, THH, TST, TTH, and TTT, right? Now what we are saying that, go back and see. Here we are saying that we can define random variable by. By is a random variable, okay, which is nothing but total number of heads on the 3 coins, total number of heads, okay, total number of heads. So you see here guys, अगर हम बोलते हैं कि by is a random variable, okay, suppose by is going to be a random variable here, so by is going to map on this, right? Okay, by of this will be what? Random variable if it is acting on this outcome. So how many heads are there, right? So you can say that this is going to be a random variable by, okay, that takes the value small by, okay. Capital Y, this is the random variable. Remember, this capital Y is a random variable. Okay, capital Y is what? The random variable. Okay, that takes the value small y. So how many maximum possible heads are 3 here, or 2? or 1 or 0 you can say. ठीक है? So these are the value that random variable is going to take. So what you can do here is you can map them, no problem. Mapping तो बहुत simple है ना, इसको आप map कर सकते हो इससे, इसको map करेंगे इससे, इसको भी map करेंगे इससे, same outcome से, right? इसको map करेंगे इससे, right? You know, इसको भी map कर, sorry, because there are yeah, there are two, yeah, you can map it, no problem. इसको भी आप same, ठीक है, इसको भी मैप कर सकते हैं, ये 0, ठीक है. दिस इज द मैपिंग दैट वी हैव डन एंड दिस इज द रैंडम वेरिएबल बाई, ओके, एंड द वैल्यू विच टेक्स इज, सो ये क्या है, ये नंबर लाइन है, रियल लाइन यू कैन से, दिस इज द रियल लाइन, ओके, this is going to be a real line. I think this is clear, right? Yes. So by be the number of heads on 3 flips. So I think this is clear for all. Okay. Yes. So you see, if someone is going to ask you, if someone is going to ask you what is the probability of by equal to 3, देखो अगर कोई पूछता है what is the probability of by equal to 3, by equal to 3 का मतलब क्या है बताओ? By equal to 3 is nothing but there are 3 heads. Okay, there are 3 heads, understand? And by, capital by is nothing but the random variable. Okay, capital by is gonna be the random variable. So how many you know such situations are there? Only one outcome is being mapped to 3 guys. Okay, only one outcomes. Okay, and what is the probability of this outcome? 1 by 8, right? इसका कितना है, 1/8 है, तो आंसर कितना आएगा इसका, 1/8, राइट? सपोज somebody is gonna ask you what is the probability of by equal to 2, राइट? तो probability of by equal to 2 में क्या, देखो कितने आउटकम्स मैप्ड हैं ये आप नोटिस करो, ठीक है? एंड ईच आउटकम ऑफ द सैंपल स्पेस हैज गॉट द probability 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, okay? So you have to add all those probabilities, right? So you see this is map, you see 2 na, so 1 2 3 3, yeah, so you can say that 1/8 1/8 1/8 which is 3/8, okay? ये तो बहुत सिंपल है सर, by equal to 1, probability of by equal to 1 क्या है, probability of by equal to 1 is nothing but the kind of event guys, okay, in the random variable paradigm, ठीक है? Now you see by equal to 1 how many outcomes are being mapped here, so 1 means one head, 1 1 2 3, okay, so this is also going to be 3/8 only, I think, yeah, 3/8, yes, okay. So you can talk about this 3/8, 1/8 1/8 1/8, this is 3/8, okay. And yeah, and if someone is gonna ask you what is the probability of by greater than 4, ये 0 हो जाएगा सर, because you can't get 4 heads, you can't get 4 heads, okay, it is an impossible event. So I think finding probability is not that difficult, right? So let me show you a more clear picture. देखो मैंने वहां पर थोड़ा क्लटर हुआ है, और अच्छे से बना देते हैं, हेड टेल हेड टेल head tail, this is head tail, okay, you have to do like this only during the exam, head tail, right? So you pick up h, ये क्या है, HST, these are the outcome I'm writing using sequential description or the tree diagram. So STT, okay, sorry, this should be STH, not STT, STT, ये कितना हो जाएगा, THH, TST, this is TTH, and this is gonna be TTT, okay. Now a random variable by is there, right? That is going to take what, the number of heads in each count, okay, in each coin, okay, in each you know toss, okay. So you see guys, I'm just going to minimize this also because yeah, तो यहाँ पर हम line draw करेंगे, straight line. I'm not good at drawing guys, okay, so sorry for that. आप इसको अच्छे से ड्रॉ कर लीजिए. दिस इज स्मॉल y. ओके, आई एम पुटिंग वर्टिकल लाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम. You see how many heads are there? So three, maximum three heads, max, then two, then one, then zero. Now you can map them, right? So mapping is being performed with the help of capital by, right? So if it takes by of this, capital 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 by of this. ठीक है. So it is gonna be this. Okay, this, ठीक है, this. Now it is clear, right? यहाँ से हो जाएगा. I think now it is clear, and this is, yeah, now it is clear. Very good looking picture now we got. इसको आप थोड़ा सा, yeah. So I think now finding the probability is very easy. Probability of, you can say, by equal to 3, by equal to 2, by equal to 1, by equal to 0. Just add the corresponding outcomes probabilities which has been mapped. So who is the guy who is mapping this? Capital by. So this by is, capital by is gonna be the mathematical function, or kind of his random variable is gonna map the outcomes of the sample space to the real line. ठीक है. It's a very good, elegant looking picture. ठीक है. Yes. Okay. So I think this is clear for all, right? So what kind of sample space we have got? This is a discrete sample space we have got, right? And we are using discrete uniform law. There is a discrete uniform law, right? Because there are 8. What is the size of the sample space? 8. And what is the probability of each outcome, getting each outcome? 1 by 8, right? Okay. So what we are doing here is we are assigning each outcomes a kind of random variable, right? The random variable is nothing but taking value, or you can say number of heads. Okay, random variable is going to be the number of heads here, right? And what we are doing is we are adding the probabilities, okay, corresponding probabilities which are being mapped to the real number, right? Okay, so I think this is clear for all, right? So even though we use the same notation for random variable and for the event, both use you can say capital letters. Okay, दोनों different concept हैं sir. मतलब for events also you are using capital letter, and random variable also you are using capital letter, but both are different concepts. So an event is a scenario, but random variable is an object. ये point आप याद रखना. ठीक है. So ठीक है. यहाँ पर आप रैंडम वेरिएबल और इवेंट को सेम मत मान लेना. ठीक है. रैंडम वेरिएबल इज okay, capital letter we are using, but both are different concepts. Okay, you see. So I think many of you might have understood what is this random variable paradigm, okay, and what Dheeraj sir wants to convey, right? At ECS basically Dheeraj sir always try to I always try to simplify your lives. So you were having a lot of trouble solving probabilities. So now I'm introducing this new paradigm, new random variable concepts. Okay, so that is going to make your life much easier, right? And you will be able to model many situations in your real life. Okay, so this topic has major role to play in your machine learning as well as in digital communications, for electronics and communication people. And in future when you will go for masters, okay, so you will study various things like image processing, machine signal processing, speech related things. Okay, whatever concepts you are going to learn, everywhere this random variable concept will be there, right? So for mathematics, for mathematician, if you know something, some kind of math, so you can translate any situation into maths, okay, and then make your life much easier. ठीक है. तो I think मजा आ गया होगा आपको, थोड़ा सा आइडिया तो लग ही गया होगा सेंस ऑफ रैंडम वेरिएबल. ठीक है. और जो जो मैंने बोला है उसको भी नोट कर लेना खुद से. ठीक है. चलो. Even though we use same notation for the random variable, okay, and for the events, okay, both we use both, like if we write probability of by equal to 3, तो ये क्या है, as a whole this is the event, but ये क्या है, by is nothing but the random variable, right? But ये total क्या है, by equal to 3 is nothing but the event. Okay, I think this is clear, right? So they are distinct concept. Okay, don't take it like random variable is a event. Okay, that is totally different. As event is a scenario. Remember, an event is a scenario, and random variable is an object. The scenario where random variable takes. Remember, event is what? Event is nothing but the scenario, kind of scenario, right? Scenario where the random variable takes a particular value, or you can say the range of value is called the event, right? So here you see y is taking the value 3, which is kind of event, okay? But y is the random variable. ये point भी हमें बताना जरूरी था. So when possible I will try to use e f g for the event, x y g for the random variable. मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ, but I can take a b c also, कुछ भी ले सकता हूँ, ठीक है? But it's fine, just to differentiate, okay? I think this is clear for all, right? Understand? So next point is notation is one of the very important thing, guys. Notation is very important, okay? Notation is going to be very important. So using you can say that using random variable is a convenient notation technique that assists decomposing problems, okay? So there are various you can say many different types of random variables. We'll talk about indicators, we'll talk about binary, choice, Bernoulli, right? Okay. In fact, I listed down some of the important points, right? So yeah, certainly. Okay, we'll discuss. The two main families of random variable uh, types are nothing but discrete and continuous. Okay, these are the two important family. Okay, discrete random variable can take only integer value. This is for sure. Okay, so I told you also integer has kind of property of discrete. So discrete random variable can take only integer value, right? Continuous variable can take on, you can say, decimal values. Okay, so we are going to develop our intuitions using discrete random variable, then we will introduce continuous random variable. Okay. So these are the kind of words will come into picture when we will move ahead, like indicator, there will be some sort of choice or binary, Bernoulli, right? तो mainly हमें focus कहाँ करना है? Discrete, which will take integer, continuous, which will take decimal values as well, and we will also talk about mixed random variable, right? Understand? So these are the families, but two major families, and related to that we will discuss many things. Okay, kind of probability mass function. Okay, probability mass function is waiting for you all. Okay, okay. So there are some properties of random variable that also I can show you. तो ये भी आप थोड़ा सा देख लो, ठीक है? देखो, properties of the random variable. So there are many properties of random variables, some of which we will dive into extensively. Okay, here is the brief summary. You can say each random variable has the property, the notation and the description, right? तो ये तीन चीजें आपको पता होना चाहिए, जैसे मीनिंग द सिमेंटिक डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द रैंडम वेरिएबल, सिंबल में कैपिटल लेटर रहेगा. Okay, capital letter is the random variable, capital letter. A letter used to denote the random variable. Okay, capital letter which is used to denote the random variable. Okay, and next is symbol that we have seen. Numerical value will be denoted by small. Support or the range, you can say support or the range. Support or the range is nothing but what? What is support? What are इसको क्या बोलते हैं? रेंज या सपोर्ट बोलो. सपोर्ट और रेंज का मतलब होता है, ये भी वर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट है सर, मैं डिस्कस करूंगा. वी विल टॉक अबाउट रीजन ऑफ सपोर्ट, ओके, इन फ्यूचर. सो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सपोर्ट और अ रेंज? इसका मतलब क्या होता है सर? description में the value the random variable can take on, मतलब these are the values that random variable can take, 0 1 2 3 something, you know, and the function which maps a values the random variable can take on to likelihood, उसको हम बोलते हैं सर प्रोबेबिलिटी मास फंक्शन या प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फंक्शन। अभी हम बात करने वाले हैं, जो अभी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस भी किया है कि बाई इक्वल टू सम वैल्यू, दैट इज नथिंग बट द प्रोबेबिलिटी मास फंक्शन, अ फंक्शन विच मैप्स वैल्यू ऑफ द रैंडम वेरिएबल कैन टेक ऑन टू द लाइकलीहुड, है ना। तो इसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे। एग्जाम्पल तो मैंने बता ही दिया था, ये वाला, ये जो हम लोगों ने कंप्यूट किया ये सब क्या है, प्रोबेबिलिटी मास फंक्शन ही है, राइट, फॉर द डिस्क्रीट रैंडम वेरिएबल। ओके fine, so I think this is the story that I wanted to discuss. I will talk I will take one more session again, and then we will continue, we will start talking about probability mass function. So I think you guys might have understood the basic concept behind random variable. अब आपको लगता है कि ये random है? नहीं है random. Okay, please remember, because it is one of the important construct of the probability theory. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you, keep learning.